A trading strategy or trading system is not something that you find online or anywhere else. It's something that you create yourself. And if you want to become a good trader long term, and a profitable one of course, let me teach you today how to create your own trading system. But first thing to do, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button below, that way you'll be notified of future videos. My goal here is to be able to support you as you make your way to a full-time trader. I want to give you tips and advice on a daily basis. And you gotta show me your serious, of course, by hitting the subscribe button, that way you'll be notified of these future videos and you'll get all these tips and interviews that I publish on a daily basis. Now, so far I've helped a lot of traders kind of create their strategy from scratch, go from nothing that you knew in the market to creating something of their own and that they could trade with. I've also given strategies for free online for a long time. I have my strategy that I use on a daily basis that I gave for free before, and people love it. The only thing is, those who created their own style, their own strategy, always get better results than the other people who take things for free and just try to apply it. Those who at least adapted my strategy to their own needs and their own style got some good results, but not as good as the one who created something of their own from scratch. So if you want to create your own style because maybe you like it better, maybe it's more comfortable for you, or you want to get good results in trading, much better than other people, then stay tuned and let's dive right into the 3 core steps to do that. First step into all of this, into creating your own trading style that you will enjoy, that you will get good results with, is to find out what your ideal tools are. And by that I mean it could be indicators, it could be different things, but you want to know what you should use in your system to trade. So some people will use Fibonacci, some people won't. Some people will use the RSI, some people won't. Some people will use price action only, some people won't. And so that's where you want to figure out what tools you will use, and this is only personal to you. Okay, so you cannot just listen to people online talk about what they use and then use the same thing. That won't work. It has to be your own. So here's an exercise I do with my students to kind of find out what they are the best at, what they could use with their system, and it goes in 3 parts. So first of all, you have to write down all the things that you've heard about, all the tools, the principles, everything you've heard about trading. So it could be things like support and resistance areas, it could be things like Fibonacci, the RSI, Bollinger Band, moving averages, all the things you've heard about. And this is going to be a long list, of course. But the point here is to figure out what you know about, and then we'll be able to kind of tune in and find out what you want to use in your system. The second step then is to write down everything that you kind of know somewhat well. So it doesn't mean you master them, you know, like super well, but these are things that you kind of know how to use a little bit. Maybe you read some books about it, maybe you went on Baby Pips and you researched about it, maybe you watched my YouTube channel and you learned about these things before. Write down all these things that you know about somewhat well that you could use to trade. Now you might not be perfect about all of those, that's fine, but you want to figure out things that you could use potentially in the market when creating your own system. And lastly, write down all these things that you kind of want to know more about. You want to research, you want to learn more, you want to study them a little bit more, you want to talk to traders who use them. All these things that kind of interest you a little bit, write them down, and these could be used as well. Now what will happen here is that you have a list of things that you heard about, things that you know how to use somewhat well, and things that you want to learn more about, so you want to research. Now you want to combine the last 2 parts, things you know somewhat well and things that you want to research, for things that will be part of your own system. So make a list of everything you could use in your system, and let me know in the comment below, what do you think is essential in your system? What tool, what principle, what do you want to apply in your system? Is there like this one thing that you really want to have in your trading strategy or your system? Let me know below, I'm curious to hear. And at the same time, we can kind of like build up the community, have other people comment there, and it's just going to be better for everyone, of course. Step number 2 here in creating your own system is to follow what I call the profitable strategy flow. And that means that all trading strategies that I've seen in the past, and I've talked to close to 300 traders so far that I've interviewed in my podcast, people that I just connect with on a daily basis, all these systems that they have, they all follow the same principle. So they have like a flow that makes them work really well in the market. That's because they are in line with the market and because they have enough confluence to be able to work in the market. So if you follow this, which I will show you how to use in a second, you will have a strategy that's much more reliable and something that is likely to work in the market. Now the goal here is to reduce trial and error, so like trying different things, trying different systems, backtesting them, they don't work, you scratch them. We want to avoid that as much as we can. So here's how that works. Okay, so let's talk here about the profitable strategy flow. It's something that I've seen all traders I talk to pretty much have in common, is that their strategy follow this kind of similar path. And the way this goes is like this. So here at the end you will have like a trade. So this is the process to be able to take trades. And here at the beginning you will have basically the start. So here you could trade many different things. But what we'll do is we'll kind of filter things and we'll go through different factors to reduce the number of trades and get something that works really well. So what people do usually is that they look for, and I'll just here mark market structure. This is the first step. So every trader I know who trades technicals looks at some kind of market structure, how the markets behave, is it trending sideways or something different. What's the market doing exactly? That's your first step. Okay, that's something that works really well. Now, what they do next is that based on the structure they found in the market, they will look at some zones in the market. So these zones could be many different things. It could be Fibonacci zones, like Fibonacci levels. It could be support resistance areas. It could be any kind of pullback, retracement in a trend. But these will depend on what market structure you're in. If you're in a trend, it's different. If you're in sideways market, it's different, right? That makes sense. So any zone you want to think about could be also pivot points if you want. That's the second step. The third step is to look at price action. So we'll just call it PA. Price action is how the price moves. So here again, it could be different things. And this is where you pick your things you like about the market. Pick the tools we define in step 1 of the whole process. Pick those tools and use them there. So price action could be things like chart patterns, for sure. It could be something like all these candlestick patterns. If you are someone who can read the market, it could be all like the moves. So any move in the market that you can read and analyze, that could be a move. So that could be something you look at. Okay, it could be different things. This is like just a small list of things. You could add a lot more to that. And that's going to be based on what you know, of course, and what you want to learn and what principles you like about the market. That's the first thing. Now we're getting a bit tight here. So fourth is what people look here is they look for indicators. So indicators that you don't have to use that if you don't want to use it. That's totally fine. But I found for myself indicators help me make a decision that's more based on data, less based on what I feel or how I think that day. It's more based on like data and actual fact. So I like it. But you don't have to use them. If you want to use them, fine. That's totally good. I recommend it. But if you don't, then don't. The key here is you don't want to use like 5 indicators. Just use 1, maximum 2 would be enough. You don't have to use like 10 of those. It's pointless. So indicators, whatever you want. Okay, that's going to be based on things that you've identified that you like in the market. Could be the RSI, could be the Bollinger Band, could be the moving average, could be things like all these oscillators that you can think about, the ATR, anything you want to think about. So of course you have a lot here. We cannot make a list of all the indicators there. Another one I like a lot is the Hall moving average. Just put it here. So that's there. So you'll see that if we kind of filter this out, right? Let's say we have like 1,000 of trades in the market we could take, or let's say we have 100 trades. You have like 100 possible moves you can think about. And then the zones and the market structure give us like, they probably cut this down a bit. Okay, they cut this down to like 50 trades. Then the zones will cut it down to like something less, like probably like 20 trades, right? Because we got a lot with the zones. And price actions are going to help us find like 5 trades. And then indicators are going to help us like determine a few trades, like 3 trades. And then this is where your last part, right? Your entry. It could be entry factors. These will help you determine where you enter the market. So for example, for me, I enter, let's say, beyond a high or beyond a low. So if you have a candlestick here, and a candlestick close, like it's a bullish one, close here, I won't enter here on the market. I will enter here beyond the high. Okay, put my stop loss beyond the low. So this is where we add more confidence to the market. Okay, now this is something that you probably not going to determine now. You'll determine this later. So what you want to do is you want to first test out these things here that we talked about and create your strategy from here. Now this is something where you add some confidence to it. You add some more factor. This will be in step number 3 of a process to creating your own system. So we'll talk about this a little bit later, but this is the 5th part that you can use also. And now from there, like you see that you have a lot less trades possible in the market, but these will be the best trades, the high probability ones, the one that will make you a living or make you grow your account. And that's what we want to focus on here. Now you already learned the core part of this whole process here of creating your own system. The only thing that will lack here, is something all traders have to go through, is you got to test and iterate based on your findings. So it's impossible that your system from scratch, like one of the things will work perfectly in the market. You have to go back on your system, you have to work on some things, you have to tweak some factors to make it work or to make it better. And that's the core part of it that most people don't do. But you want to really kind of go back on your findings and change things up, test new things, and find out how that could be better. So we discussed before that we would be using entry factors to be able to add more confidence or even make our strategy much better. And this, I won't teach it here because I've done a video on that before. So I'll just let you watch it. I'll leave it linked below this video. You can just watch it. It's called something like how to make your strategy better. So if you just want to search this on YouTube, you can do that if you want. Or you can just check out the link below. And it's going to teach you much more things about how to make your strategy better with these factors that we add at the end. There's a ton of them, so you have to kind of watch video to learn all of them if you want to master them. But you've learned the core thing here of profitable strategy flow that you can use in the market. And so how that's going to help you out and you're able to create your own system from today. Of course, what I told you here in the video was easier said than done. You won't be able to create your system in one day if you've never done it before. That's totally normal. You'll have to take time to practice it. But the more you develop systems, the more you get good at it. And the more you can create strategies from scratch faster and get them to work in the market, of course. Even though creating a system is not easy, that shouldn't be the thing preventing you from doing it. It should be an excuse to use, oh, it's too hard, I won't do it. That shouldn't happen. But to make the process even easier for you, I prepared a special video that goes in depth into this principle we talk about today, like the market phase, putting a profitable strategy together, and some examples you can use also yourself to make your strategy better. If you want to get access to that video for free, check out the first link in the description for the video. I know it's going to bring you a lot of value and things that we didn't talk about here that we cannot cover on just one video, so hope you benefit from it and that you can just watch it and take notes as well to learn more. That's it for today, guys. Subscribe if you haven't done yet. Once again, I publish a video like this almost every single day, doing my best to bring you tips on a daily basis. And I'll catch you back in the special video linked below or on the next YouTube video pretty soon. Ciao.